been together for a while now, growing stronger every day now. The world sees what rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I see. I know you haven't made your mind up yet. When God whispered your name, oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao now.
Alright, Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashmi Hawashah, Wahar Rakah Kwadash, which in the ancient Hebrew tongue would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out there that's also laboring in His work. And as always, I want to say Shalom to the believers, the Akim, as well as the Akwath, which will be you brothers along with the sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, this lesson right here is going to be, obviously centered around the opening clip, which featured these different celebrities and how they're coping with the idea of being self-quarantined due to this whole coronavirus thing. And pretty much they completely bugging out, man. You got videos surfacing of Cardi B having meltdowns, and you got these different stars who are voicing their displeasure, in the fact that they're being pretty much taken out their comfort zone. And this is nothing more than Yahweh Shemeh Hawashah beginning to put restrictions on your people. Because ultimately the Lord is demanding your undivided attention, all right? And He's going about it by taking away the different smoke screens and distractions, if you will. You see? And ultimately taking away the luxuries and pleasures that come along with being here in America. And this is a beautiful piece of work, and how the Lord is strategically putting this thing together, and the fact that He's using these celebrities, which, by the way, these different celebrities pretty much captures the pride of America. The pride and the proud spirit that has rested here in America, Babylon the Great, is on display through these different stars, these celebrities across the board, whether it's in the form of these actors and actresses, these athletes, you see? And in this case, these musicians, these R&B singers and rappers, they pretty much promote the pride that's on display here in America. So how fitting the Lord is publicly, bringing those lofty looks low. And guess what? Our Lord Yahweh prophesied concerning this and spoke concerning this very moment. And that's found right here in the book of Luke, the 6th chapter, starting at the 24th verse. It says, "But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation." Yeah, and when you go into that word consolation, it pretty much means to console. So all of you different stars out there, well, you was consoled in the fact that you was able to buy these luxurious mansions and homes. You have a winter house. You have a vacation house, a villa in Costa Rica. You got these top-end cars, and you wear this top-end fashion, high-end fashion clothes. See? You were celebrated. Well, guess what? That was your consolation right there. You was consoled. But guess what? When all hell break loose, you're not going to be consoled in that day because you already received your consolation. See that? So again, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. See, on the flip side, we have been catching hell, enduring afflictions. We had to be brought out of our comfort zone. And that was a time where you would question that. I know, speaking on behalf of myself, you catch hell, you pretty much is reduced to rubble when you come to serve Yahweh Bashmi Hawashah. And that's spoken of in the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter. You see? And at times it can get so bad that fire can be turned up on you. And it could get so intense to where you'll question the Lord, man. Lord, why? But now you see clear, and you see the method to that madness, if you will. All right? Well, the Lord took us out of that comfort zone because we're going to be comforted. We're going to be consoled when all hell break loose, man. See that? Again, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. It says, so you already been consoled in the form of the goods that comes with this world. See that? But on the other hand, we was catching hell, but that's going to lead to us being consoled when it matters when it matters most, should I say. When all hell break loose out here on the soils of America. See, verse 25, woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Yeah, and we're in the beginning stages of that, man. You people are now beginning to mourn and weep. And it's on display through something as subtle as these different posts, they putting up through their social media accounts. I'm in day 25 of quarantine and I'm about to lose it. Oh, you had this guy, what his name? Offset. Yeah, Offset. This guy, he was so overwhelmed with boredom, he was sitting there recording himself rolling blunt after blunt, man. you know? So guess what? We're in a time now, we're in the beginning stages of all of you who was laughing and enjoying the perks that come along with being in league with the so-called white man, the wicked. Now you are beginning to mourn. See, again, woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. See that? And this is being fulfilled right now before our eyes. Verse 26, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you. Yeah, and that's one of the perks that come along with being a celebrity in this society. Everybody speak well of you. They see you, they treat you as if you some damn god. They run up on you asking for autographs. You got women falling out. People are reduced to tears when they see you. Yeah, because you have been exalted here in this wicked society, man. Hey, that's a blot, that's a stain on you in the eyes of Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. Let's read this again. It says, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you. See? For so did their fathers to the false prophets. Yeah, and really, in essence, you people, even if you don't teach out of the Bible, you will be considered a false prophet. You fall under that category because the vibration you push, the rhetoric, that you promote and present to the people, is not for your welfare. Everything they stand for is to lead you to death. So that's a form of being a false prophet too, man. You don't necessarily have to have on a suit and tie and a Bible open to be a false prophet. Whatever you promote and it leads the people to go astray, well, you could be considered a false prophet too. For an example, our people, they hold fast to the words of these damn rappers. Case in point, the nigga Tupac, he made the statement in one of his songs. I believe it was actually one of his songs called, it was the title of one of his songs, Only God Can Judge Me. And guess what? You actually got simple bird brain Negroes that hold fast to that saying. See? You can bring a scripture out to them and they'll hit you with a saying from Tupac. Man, only God can judge me. See? So Tupac was a false prophet then. He didn't necessarily have to read out of the scriptures. See that? So again, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophet. So what you're witnessing right now is nothing more than a role reversal. All right, the lofty looks of the proud is being brought low. And this is on display through these celebrities. And that's a beautiful piece of work by Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. Humbling the very ones who promoted the pride of America. All right? So from there, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, in the 4th verse, which this precept has been coming out a lot lately, man. Why? Because we're in that time. We're in the time where this prophecy written is being fulfilled right before your eyes. You see? It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. Yeah, and it's not the doors being shut in the streets in the form of these different shopping centers and malls. You know, you got Foot Locker and Hibbett's closed. You know, these non-essential businesses. Well, guess what? That's a fulfillment of what we're reading right here. See? And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Yeah, and this not only applies to the hard-working, blue-collar factory worker, you know, the assembly line worker. No, this applies to you stars as well. Hey, this guy LeBron James is out of work right now. Why? Because the NBA is shut down. So this applies to everybody across the board. And this proves that there's no respect of persons with Yahweh Shah. Nobody is exempt from the judgment written. You see? It says, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. See? And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Now, when you look up the definition for this word low, all right, the scriptures say, and all the daughters of music, which in this case would be these different R&B singers and rappers, you know, well, they being brought low right now. Now, when you look up this definition for low, it says to bow, crouch, bow down, be bowed down. See? To be bowed down, prostrated. Yeah, that word prostrated pretty much means, you know, to give you a vivid illustration, when you consider these different Muslims, when they bow down with their face to the ground, well, that's a form of prostrating. All right? It says prostrated, be humbled. See? Be humbled. So now we're in a time where these entertainers, these daughters of music, is being humbled, man. See that? And being reduced to voice their frustration. You know, they're being reduced to having these concerts online, which the reason why they do that, you know, besides the fact that they crave attention, which that's another thing. When you go into that word fame, you know, or famous, it actually goes back to famine. Meaning, when you desire to be famous, you crave attention. You hungry for attention. See? That word fame actually goes back to famine. You know, but besides the fact that they craving attention, this is them being reduced to promoting themselves. Because when you consider these entertainers, and in this case, these musicians, right? You know, they have these different contracts, these record deals, which consist of budgets, and they might get an advancement, you know, and they have to make up for that through their record sales. So really, they see their money through these shows. You'll be surprised of how much stock they put into these tours and these shows, because this is how they see their money. So if not only based upon the fact that they trying to get money through these different concerts, they doing it for nothing else than to keep themselves hot, to promote themselves, man. See? Like you had this guy, Lil Boosie, you know, which he revolutionized show money. This guy would get $200,000, $300,000, you know, for shows within a 2-3 week month span, you know. But you had maybe 3-4 months ago, this guy came out and publicly denounced Yahweh Shah. He said he would get a Lord the middle finger if he had to stop eating pork, man. That nigga. All right. Well, guess what? He was driven by the fact that he had money. He didn't foresee, you know, the Lord pouring out this judgment. He thought he'll always be straight. You know what I'm saying? So that compelled him to, you know, in his hunger for attention, which you see these entertainers, they stay on social media. All right. Well, he didn't look before he leaped, man. He jumped out there. He said he'll give the Lord the middle finger. Now his money is compromised because, again, this guy Lil Boosie made a lot of money off these shows. Well, now you got with these regulations where you can't have crowds of 25 people or more, and that was reduced to 10 people, in some cases 5, you know, where people are not to be within 6 feet amongst each other. See that? And who do that affect? That affect these musicians, man, because they're not able to fill and pack these arenas and auditoriums. See? And that's where a lot of their money comes. And not just them, even these athletes. You know, these athletes, they get their money from the fans, man, from packing these arenas. you know, and these jersey sales, which all centers around the fans. And that money goes into the pocket of the owners, and that trickle down to these max contracts that you see LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard and, you know, these different superstars, Kevin Durant. Well, guess what? Now all these things are compromised, man. This is a beautiful thing, all right? Nobody gets away. Yahweh Shemi Shah has a way of humbling a nigga. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Lord willing, it was edifying. Until the next time I say shalom.